Yeah. Fine by me.
Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast infused with hip hop. I am Wood, and Suave is not introducing himself, so you stay classy.
Yeah, please. Please, hey. Because 60% of the time it works every time. And we knee deep in conversation already, so we're not going through no pleasantries. Get to it.
If this intro just seems rushed, it's because it is. We had a conversation.
It's because we're entertaining stuff that has no business being entertained.
Yeah, we had a conversation that started to get a little animated, and it's worthy of this show. So as we proceed to give you what you need and what you have missed over the last couple of weeks. First off, before we get back into the conversation,
okay,
life has been lifing like so much so that I'm going to have to mark that.
There's proof right there. Right there is proof of what's been going on. Right there.
Yeah. I'm going to have to mark
no better illustration
for editing purposes. And please believe that will probably be the only time that happens unless I happen to piss Suave off.
we need an intern. That's what we need is an intern. I'm sick of editing.
The show at brokenpencilbc.com, brokenpencilbc@gmail.com. As you hear those chimes, Suave is actually sending me over bullet points for today's show. Today is Saturday, October 7th. Yeah, my Lord.
Yeah, my Lord.
I said, yeah, my Lord.
Yeah, my Lord.
20 and 20. Tree.
Wiggle wee, convenient, bring me your dinner bucket.
Let the church say.
Hey, man.
A-Town down.
You know what I'm saying? Peace out, A-Town down. All that, jolly good show and all that rut.
Yeah. Like that there. Man, there's a whole lot of wrestling that we have meaning to cover. We'll talk about it in this show.
Whole lot of wrestling on it.
There's a pay-per-view or premium live event that's going to be happening while we're recording this show.
A pimp-per-view?
A pimp. Val Venus is somewhere wanting me in this episode.
Man, Val don't want nothing to do with this episode.
The Godfather wants something to do with this episode.
Facts. Now, there's a guy we need to have on this show right now. Charles Wright, a.k.a. The Godfather, a.k.a. Kama Mustafa, a.k.a. Papa Shango, a.k.a. Run Me My Tip Out.
A.k.a. Better Than You. AKA Mr. Pimp, Mr. Pimpin' ain't easy, man.
Pimpin' ain't. What up, Ice-T? And that is not Ice-T in Wood's glass either.
But it could go with Ice-T.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. We're doing adult stuff. Pause.
Man, shouts out before we continue on some hip hop.
All right.
Shouts out to little brother.
Okay.
Made in Durham, the block party is happening while we're recording this episode, right?
Oh, that's dope.
Headlined by Little Brother, also featuring Big Crit, Hourglass, DJ Wally Sparks, Zoe, and Tall Black Guy, among others, and the Cool Kids, among other luminaries who are performing today in Durham. But here's what's really cool, Suave. I didn't send you this. I can send it to you right now. Okay. And shouts out to Trav by the 7th. He would be so jealous of this. so jealous of this. I'm going to send you an invoice. And then I'm also going to send you exactly what it is. In the same.
What did I buy?
You didn't buy anything. I did. They, in commemoration of this block party, they have joined up with Full Steam Brewery, a local microbrewery here in the Raleigh-Durham area. Actually, both locations are in Durham, so let me take the Raleigh off. And you know what a pawpaw is, sir?
No,
that's your grandfather either.
I'm not familiar.
A pawpaw is what's considered to be a tropical fruit that's native to North America, specifically native to North Carolina. It's a cross, like a flavored cross between a mango, a banana, and maybe a passion fruit.
Mutant fruit. Okay.
Little brother has a pawpaw-based beer.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
In honor of the fallen, not real R&B singer Percy Miracles. Percy's Paw Paw Miracle is the name of this beer.
Bruh.
During the football games of this weekend, I shall be partaking of what is my part of a case of Percy's Paw Paw Miracle, courtesy
a whole case
of little brother. Yes.
Shout out to the Rangers, just pulled off a W against the Orioles.
You know what? Baseball, you notice I haven't worn my Cubs hat in a minute?
Yeah, and we got to get back into providing the people with some eye candy. That's part of the reason for this hat, because the shirt you had on for the last You Know Who Ain't Gonna Win, even though people really didn't get to see it, gave me an idea.
So only eye candy you get on the dome piece is a hoodie, because it's hoodie season for real, not because it's 110 degrees.
Bro, it's 73 degrees outside in Dallas, Texas.
Cheer that. It's 69 giggity right here in Durham right now.
Man, when you dealt with like 2 months straight of like triple digit numbers.
Remember, I moved in triple digit weather.
This is true. 3 months, 3 straight months of triple digits every day. To walk outside and feel that 70-ish breeze hit you and the sun was out. If you got a convertible, you drop the top.
To quote the great MC Suave Burgundy.
That guy.
Feel that breeze. Oh, that's just me. With your cool ass.
I did say that. Guilty.
Swaptoberfest Prime on your local streaming platforms. Immediately.
You know what I'm saying? Locally produced, farm to table, organic type whatnots.
You know what I'm saying? If I can't be a fan of a guy I work with, I can't be a fan of nobody.
You know what I'm saying? If you ain't gonna support your own, who gonna support them? You feel me? You got to be a bra strap.
No ID told you back in '95, except your own to be yourself.
Since we shouting out hip hop, shout out to Don Tripp on yet another stellar release. He has hit every month of the year and he has not missed yet.
Don't you fret, sir. I see your Don Tripp, and I'm gonna bring it back home for you. Day One Pencil Pusher gave us the keys to his castle to use on this very show. Marco Polo just released an album with Torre last week.
Get to it.
Banger.
Get into it. Get into it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Who else deserves shout outs right now?
This is the most hip hop we've been able to do on this show since we changed formats and distribution platforms.
We gotta get back to our roots. Like we
really about that.
Yeah, for real. Like this is in the early days, it was more of a variety. It's always been wrestling centric. We've never not had wrestling, but in the past, we've also included other parts of what we enjoy as far as entertainment, and it became somewhat of a variety show. And we would always make sure that hip hop was centered. Yes, there was a centered energy of hip hop, which you can always tell by the instrumentals, some of the comparisons and things that we make. Because we are a show that is one of one.
We are the one of ones. We are the one of ones. But everybody else, they the twos.
The twos. Even the format we own, one of one. Because you can't write it. Because we don't write it.
You can't write this as a hashtag.
You can't. Talk to him.
6 years in the game doing this, man, and we ain't 6 years as wrestling fans either.
Nah,
know that.
No, we wouldn't have survived this long if we had just started watching. We see how some of y'all talk.
Oh, just you wait, things about to change.
But back to this conversation that started this episode. Like started this episode real tough. So, a publication that we publicly denounced. Has
we can end it right there. Swine, take him to the house.
Pencil pushes. Heads up. Pencils down. My boy.
Yeah. Just for the sake of entertainment, we must continue though.
Bing bong. So look, for the next 45 minutes, instead of us doing the show, we're just gonna play Swavetoberfest Prime and we're just gonna rock out.
And we'll catch you next week. Go ahead, Swab.
A publication we have publicly denounced because of its creators' affiliation to moronic statements has put out their yearly yearly induction candidate list for their own Hall of Fame.
That I just found out about within the last 30 minutes from now.
Facts. And I looked at I haven't even looked over the whole list, but it was brought to my attention and it said, take a look at the modern candidates, the candidates that are in modern consideration. So there's no time period on this, of course.
We're going to put one on here based on the conversation you and I started to have.
But when you look at the rest of the list, you can't really, because it spans so much time, and you'll get it when I go through the whole list.
Okay.
The part of this Hall of Fame ballot, and there's a maximum of 5 people that can be selected, or 5 entities that can be selected. And this is modern performers in the United States and Canada. So this does not include Japan.
You said entities. So
yes,
the Easter egg. Okay.
Yes, there are entities. It's not just individuals. So the list goes as follows: Mark and Jay Briscoe.
Absolutely.
The Young Bucks. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I gotta give an applause for Mark and Jay Briscoe. I'm gonna tell you like this, Suave. You were there, and maybe I'm talking out of turn, but FTR Briscoe.
Mark and Jay deserve their flowers. Yeah,
but Briscoe's FTR won.
Yep.
It's enough to put both of them in the Hall of Fame alone if they never wrestled another match.
I feel now, while I agree with your sentiment because of what 2 and 3 went to become and what Mark and Jay Briscoe had been all up until that point, I'm also one of those people who is a little more calculated about when you start putting people into a Hall of Fame.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm not saying that me grading one match and calling it a career is worth it, because like I don't believe anyone can have Biggie Smalls in the top 5 dead or alive conversation when he only had 2 albums, well, 1 album before he actually passed. The second album was released posthumously.
See, so that sort of thinking, that sort of critical thinking, pragmatic thinking, that's what I apply when people start trying to crown someone the GOAT, or say this person's a genius, or put this person in a Hall of Fame. And it's the whole reason we only do one person in the Hall of Fame every year.
And it comes
shout out to OG Teddy Long.
It comes off as double talk for me to even say that, but at the same time, like I think that's how high of a regard I have for that particular match, especially because I was there.
Understood. Now, you want to analyze each name as I read it, or you want me to read the whole list, then we go back?
How long is the list, first of all? Because I don't know.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different nominees.
Not bad. We can run through them all. Are they ranked?
No, they're not ranked. The list is just at random.
Good.
So I'll run through it, and then whatever ones stick out to you, we can go back and address. So Mark and Jay Briscoe was first.
Yes.
The Young Bucks.
Yes.
Edge.
Absolutely.
Bill Goldberg. There's the second one. I ought to make you edit this.
Mark, I'm already marking this one.
I should make you edit video and I edit audio this time. We'll swap.
You almost killed a GOAT. No, thank you.
The Hardys.
Ooh.
The fact that you have to think about that, and you said yes immediately to the Young Bucks, means me and you were going to be opposed to this the entire time.
Wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. Because see, here, my thinking, when you throw modern into an equation, I'm thinking there's a certain, and you clearly said that there was no set time frame.
There's no timetable on
So we're talking about the entire career of the Hardys? Absolutely. Without question.
Yeah, I'm assuming this has to be, for me, Hall of Fame is a career achievement.
Yes.
It's once you're done. It's the reason I go ahead.
But there have been three different timelines of the Hardys.
Doesn't matter.
Right? No.
Matter.
I no. So that hence my hesitation originally. No question. Yes.
because okay, look at it like this, because I always use the NFL Hall of Fame as a barometer for how I judge other sports. Tom Brady had a Hall of Fame career just with the Patriots. Then he had a second Hall of Fame career away from the Patriots.
Not a lie. Not However, a lie.
He's one person that goes into the Hall of Fame one time.
Yep.
You don't get 2 jackets for that. Yep. So if the Hardys had 3 runs that were Hall of Fame worthy, it's still one career.
Okay.
1 jacket, 1 induction.
So why is Edge on this list?
Because of whose Hall of Fame it is.
Oh, so basically he's never been in this Hall of Fame.
Right.
Okay. All right.
If we decide to put him in ours.
Okay.
So because in professional wrestling, there is no one entity that everyone looks at and says, this is the one we should follow.
Yeah. And so, like it or not, using all of those caveats, right? Young Bucks are deserving. Continue.
Because then you'll end up like Cauliflower Alley is a thing, and their criteria may be different from what ours is versus what this publication's is versus, the WWE Hall of Fame versus if someone just started a completely independent Hall of Fame.
The whole reason that we had this conversation to start off this show just went out the window. I'll explain. Keep going.
So next on the list, Becky Lynch. Look, by the criteria, go think about that. I'm gonna keep going. Becky Lynch, Jon Moxley.
So when this conversation started, you and I were at different sides of the coin on Moxley. If I have to, gun to my head right now, both of them that you just named off, I'm saying no. And it's not because they don't have the resume. They don't have the tread on the resume. So before, because I was thinking like,
but here's where I would even disagree with that. If they don't have the tread, then certainly the Young Bucks don't. And I don't want to make this a whole anti-Young Bucks thing, but if we're talking about tread in 2023 to end up on this list, everybody on this list basically deserves a yes, and you can only pick 5.
But I've been watching the Bucks for at least 15 years.
And?
Wow.
Like, okay, 15 years. If we count backwards 15 years, does that not also include Generation Me?
Yes, it does.
Exactly. What would you tell me about Generation Me that said this is a part of a Hall of Fame career?
Nothing that's part of a Hall of Fame career, for sure.
What makes them Hall of Fame is the fact that when they were independent, they were able to turn themselves into marketable entities based off merchandise and interest. And the fact that the internet had not matured to a point to where you can absolutely see everything that happens almost in real time. So there was a sense of, I need to be a part of this because I'm hearing about it, but I can't see it. Nowadays, it doesn't matter who it is. If the name gets hot enough on Twitter, you can find something on them to watch in its entirety and make some type of decision about it, because every pro wrestling company in the United States finds some way to stream, even if it's just YouTube.
Absolutely. And there was a point in time when Young Bucks was on your TV 3 days a week, and it wasn't on WWE or Impact or AEW, because AEW didn't exist at the time that I'm talking about. And I'm not just talking about cable. I'm talking about local television.
Thank you, Sinclair. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying is, like, if we're gonna give them the nod, then Becky Lynch and Jon Moxley should have tread as well. Now, but once we finish reading the list, we'll get into who does, who doesn't, what makes sense, what doesn't. So okay, Becky Lynch, Jon Moxley. Okay. Next, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall together.
Together?
Ooh, I'm 100% yes on this.
Yeah, I say yes, but there's a conversation to be had.
I don't even think there's a conversation to be had, and there's one reason that goes into this that takes the conversation out of it.
I already know what it is. They invented the guaranteed contract.
Hit the bell. and then hit the cash register. There is no conversation about this. Everyone would like to think that, you know, another group of people changed wrestling for everybody, and
they are the reason right now that in 2023, 1996, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are the reason why there are bidding wars in 2023.
Documented factuals that they are the reason people have guaranteed contracts.
The reason why people go up and have no competes is because of Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
Everything else is speculation. They changed the face of wrestling. Exactly. The 90-day non-compete is a result of them and Lex Luger.
Keep going.
Okay, next, Paul Orndorff. You see why now that whole modern, you see where modern goes completely out of the window? Paul Orndorff wrestled inside the blue steel cage in WWF.
And when he wrestled in the 90s, he was enhancement talent because he was a trainer. As a professional wrestler, Paul Orndorff, not a Hall of Famer. As a trainer.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I do.
You say that he is?
Yes.
Based on what?
Based on main events. Like, you can't take him out of those main events with good criteria. He was there. Did we already have him in our best to never? I don't think he made the list. He might not have. And that's if he didn't, that's an error on our part.
It is. I agree. But the fact that it was error alone.
I mean, charge it to head, not heart. I feel like if all of the people previous on this list are Hall of Fame worthy for whatever reason they're Hall of Fame worthy, I don't think you can remove Paul Orndorff based on again Hall of Fame stretches. He had a seemingly wasn't Orndorff first WrestleMania?
He was.
Okay. You can't pull him off the first WrestleMania. He's there forever. You can't pull him off Saturday night's main event. He was there forever. You can't pull him out of that blue steel cage.
Right. And truth be told, if you think about WWF and steel cage matches, and you don't think about that blue steel cage, and don't think about Orndorff in that simultaneously, something is wrong with your watching.
You can't take him away from WCW Saturday Night when he whooped Vader. You can't erase that from memory. You can't take away the title run of Pretty Wonderful. You can't pick and choose when you decide what of a person's career you're going to absorb.
You just gave me why he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
That's all I'm saying. As the list continues, this one won't even be a discussion. Randy Orton.
Stop it.
He
is number 3 on the modern WWE all-time world championship wins list. Stop.
Next is Seth Rollins.
Yes.
CM Punk.
Here's where we get dicey.
Without question.
Yes, absolutely. The most polarizing person that we have seen in professional wrestling from both standpoints, from a wrestler's point of view and from a backstage talent point of view. As an employee, he's polarizing.
He has one of the top 10 most famous promos in wrestling history.
And tried to get a second one. And I guarantee you
the second is coming.
Here, Suave, here's what I think is going to happen. That one that's coming, I think is probably going to be some sort of an apology for the first one.
He ain't apologizing to nobody about nothing. What famous quote did he kind of borrow from here?
Start telling lies.
Yeah, don't stop me when I hurt your feelings. Stop me when I start telling lies. Go back and listen to the Pipe Brown promo from 2012, whenever it happened.
I mean, we could do it on here, but I don't want to burn 15 minutes like that.
Facts. But tell me what part of that promo either isn't true or didn't come to fruition in some form or fashion.
Well, the fact that he was talking about Triple H as a doofus son-in-law, no one has foresight. So you couldn't see that Triple H was going to end up being the valued talent that he currently is as an executive. And Triple H I don't know of anyone that has negative things to say about Triple H, the executive. And if you do, please let me know why you say these things.
Again, and he's one of the only people who's kind of spoke on it because he has firsthand dealings. We're just dealing with the product he produces as a consumer. Mm-hmm. But this, that, and the third. Vince McMahon's a millionaire who should be a billionaire, but isn't in spite of himself.
Man, I'm just
not to mention the 434-day reign, not to mention drawing the first $1 million house for AEW. Like, that happens in the span of a 7-year layoff. You come back and show that you're a draw enough to where you cleared $1 million house for a company who just celebrated its 4th year on television.
And he has the worst winning percentage for a professional wrestler to go as an MMA fighter that left professional wrestling to become MMA.
Two-sport athlete. You say tomato, I say tomato. And he's still the AEW champion. He has the possibility of breaking Bret Hart's WWE title reign. Keep going. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go back and check episode 200. We got 3 more nominees on this list.
Keep going.
Roman Reigns, your daily acknowledgement.
Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. Keep going.
Two more. Trish Stratus.
Yes.
And here's the last one. Because of recent events, that would be the only reason I can see someone mustering the opportunity to say no to this. Rick and Scott Steiner.
I'm saying yes.
It's not a question for me.
Yeah, I'm saying yes. However, only Scott is accepting this award on their behalf. Number one. Number two.
There's no public ceremony for this.
Okay. Then yeah, they go.
There's no public ceremony. There's nothing. This is a paper championship if ever there was one.
Literally
a paper championship. There is no award ceremony. There might or might not be a plaque. I'm not certain. This is absolutely a mental achievement because you can remember it. But that is the list of modern performers. So now you see the modern idea. There's no real, I don't know if there's a real stop point because Paul Orndorff wrestled
he wrestled in the 70s going into, I think, 2000.
You see what I'm saying? Rick Steiner has Rick and
85 to, and Rick was just recently in the ring in NXT like last year. So we saw Scott 5 years ago in Texas.
Right, but when did Scott debut? Somewhere around 88, something like that, 87, 88. So we're talking about a span of just shy of 40 years with these people. If you include Orndorff, it's more
4 decades for sure.
So what do you consider modern? Like, okay, for us, not for them, but for us, what are we going to call modern? 50 years?
Better yet, where's the cutoff? Not the starting point, the cutoff. Because truth be told, like, Ric Flair has wrestled in 7 decades.
So can you consider him modern? Because there's also a historical list. There's a historical list of nominees, which it gets
on the same list.
It gets complicated. Yes.
Read it. Go through it. So for the sake of conversation, run through it.
All right, boom. So, historical performer era candidates. There's a maximum of 7 that can be inducted.
Okay.
List goes as follows: Ole Anderson, Bob Armstrong, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson with J.J. Dillon, Jack and Jerry Briscoe, the British Bulldogs, June Byers.
Stop. British Bulldogs should be modern era based off of the talent list that was on the modern era. However,
Tully and Arn should be modern based on that.
I was about to go there. It's simply because both of them were active in the last 5 years.
Okay, that's another thing we had to define. Active in the last 5 years. Like at some point, just appearing on TV is not enough to say you're active.
Tully was in the match.
Don't remind me.
It's not your fault, but continue. So at any rate, I think the only reason why they put the Bulldogs as I guess historical is because of Dynamite Kid's career being cut short in the 80s.
Then you would have to put. Well, never mind. I'm not gonna fix their list for them.
Yeah, don't force it. I'm trying to continue. Run through.
June Byers.
Who was that?
Do your Googles. We not finna do your Googles. Look, we only have so much show that we can give you every time.
Yeah, go ahead. It's cool.
Wild Bill Curry. Cowboy
Bill Curry?
Yes. Cowboy Bob Ellis. Pampero Firpo. Black Gordman and Great Goliath. The Mongolian Stomper.
Him, I definitely say yes.
The Hart Foundation. Brett and Jim. Just the tag team. Chill. Just hold what you got. Sputnik Monroe. Dusty Rhodes and Dick Murdoch. Argentina Rocca and Miguel Perez. Johnny Rougeau. The Iron Sheik. Tiger Jeet Singh. Sergeant Slaughter. The tag team of Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood.
Boy.
The tag team of Mad Dog and Butcher Vachon. The Von Brauners and Saul Wingeroff. There's a wicked typo right here. It's like an extra slash. Then Kevin and Kerry and David Von Erich. That's a really weird way to put that, but it's literally Kevin and Kerry and David Von Erich. So it's just those three together. Like they couldn't get individual. Whatever.
Well, I mean, they were a 6-man at one time, but
then shout out to the Iron Claw that comes out in December.
Man, Lip is playing Kerry. That's about a foot in height difference.
Look, I'm anxious to see how they made this work on camera.
Yes.
There's a lot of intrigue around this movie, and none of it's around the story yet because I haven't seen a plot. I haven't seen anything that tells me what the movie's about or what it'll cover. It's just the casting has blown us away because we have spent the majority of our young, cultivated wrestling time watching the Von Erichs, so we have a different attachment to how they're presented.
I just want to know how the hell in a 2-hour movie Maxwell Jacob Friedman got the role of Lance Von Erich, a non-cousin of the Von Erichs, to even appear in a movie when he was only a character on television for 3 weeks.
So this should be a cameo. It's not going to be a long performance. It's just like
okay. Think about this.
Like Ernest Miller in The Wrestler.
Think about this. They say a year in human years is how long in dog years?
And it's like a 7-piece.
It's a week, exactly. So that means a day in dog years is a week. For every day a dog lives, he's lived a week in its life. You follow me?
Egg sucking dog.
So if this movie is a dichotomy of roughly, we'll say, 35 years,
I'm certain they don't cover that much time. Certain about it.
I'm really just going off of Kerry's approximate age at the time of death.
Okay, because I'm not even sure they go that far. I don't know if they're gonna.
Okay,
which
we'll call it world class. We'll call it 10 years.
All right.
So in a 2-hour movie, you find time to have a cameo for someone who was on TV for 3 episodes?
I mean, okay. Here's how I can justify it from a person who deals in creative content, writing and producing and all that. So if you're telling the story of the demise of world-class business, and in particular Fritz von Erich's thought process during that time, the cameo makes sense because it's an act of desperation.
Not only that, what he did to negate that character had not been done on TV before.
Bingo. It's of historical significance. And here's the other thing you and I are absolutely going to have to work on before we watch this movie. This movie may not be historically accurate.
We got to be objective.
Yeah, you're just going to have to judge some of it based on is it good or not, because historical accuracy is not something that dwells in Hollywood. This is not a documentary. It's a movie. There are documentaries that we can go watch if you want to know exactly what happened from firsthand from the people who were around it. But this is Hollywood. Hollywood is about drama and presentation.
I thought Notorious was a good movie. Jenica said it was about 85% accurate.
See?
Me, being a hip hop fan, want to know what happened to the other 15%. However, growth in me knows that for entertainment value, some things had to be changed and modified to make it more entertaining. I'm okay with that.
Exactly. That's it. So for us, we're going to have to do that. Say, hopefully, at least 70% of this is historically accurate.
Show the bib. Show the bib.
Right. We'll take 60. We'll take 60%. I would prefer 70 to 75, but we're gonna have to be able to live with the fact that all of this may not be historically accurate.
Because at the end of the day, it's pro wrestling, and we don't know how much of this is real and how much of it is not.
So what's real and what's Memorex? And a lot of that is because we lived it in real time. So it's like, it's almost a bit of a personal insult when facts don't stay facts for the sake of entertainment. But that's the world we live in. That's why they make books. They hide the facts in a book because you won't go read it. So at some point it becomes, what do you have a stronger desire to be? Entertained or educated?
If you want to be educated, you go read the book.
You want to be entertained, you watch a movie.
All right, there it is.
Boom, bap. But
anybody else we missing?
No, that's the whole list from historical performers. But back to that modern performer.
I'm not mad at the list of historical performers. I'm mad at the fact that there is no timeline for historical performers when some of these people could be considered modern era based on.
Because you're a stickler for rules.
Not necessarily.
No, when people don't tag in tag team matches, it burns you under the collar.
Yes.
See, yes. You're a stickler for rules and structure.
Because
I'm not saying it is a bad thing, because in some cases I am too.
grab the rope.
Yeah, you got both feet off.
Be the legal man when you're pinning someone, and pin the legal man.
You're standing on the bottom rope making a tag.
Nah, bro. You grow an inch or go work with a smaller fed. Or go work in a smaller fed.
Nope, because they brought the smaller fed to TV. It ain't no going back.
They did that, but no one said it. Go ahead, Suave. Go ahead.
But again, it becomes one of those things. Like, that's the whole premise. Do you want to be entertained? Do you want to be educated? We kind of want both, and there's no place to get both anymore. There's no place to get both anymore, and that's the world we live in. But let's
do we got to drill down these 5? Is that what you want to do? That
pick 5 from that list. Pick your 5 from that list.
Read me the list uninterrupted. Go.
Mark and Jay Briscoe, Young Bucks, Edge, Goldberg, the Hardys, Becky Lynch, Jon Moxley, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, the Outsiders, Paul Orndorff.
Stop. I got my 5 already. Edge, Randy Orton, Hall and Nash, Mark and Jay, and then read me up to Orton again. I'm sorry. No, never mind. Never mind. Because I can't do 4 without doing the 1. Roman Reigns is number 5.
check your iMessage. The list is in there. So here's what I'm gonna do. Here's my 5. Give me
that. God, that's a list. Good Lord, I gotta
give me Mark and Jay Briscoe.
Okay.
Give me Hall and Nash. Give me the Steiners. Give me here's where it gets weird. Give me the Hardys. Did I already have them?
No.
Mark and Jay Briscoe, the Hall and Nash, the Hardys, Steiner brothers, and then give me Randy Orton.
You can't go wrong with that.
I'm gonna tell you why I have trouble with this list in the first place.
Go ahead.
A few of these careers are still active, and active competitors in a Hall of Fame is that, first of all, I feel like that should be reserved for the top of the top. Like Rey Mysterio, 100% deserves to be a active Hall of Famer.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes.
Which I'm like, why is he not on this list? But hey, it's not my list. I didn't make it. So that's a big thing for me, like putting active competitors into a Hall of Fame, because the Hall of Fame for me feels like it should be the crowning achievement. It's the cherry on top of the sundae.
There's only one reason that I put, well, actually two, and they kind of go hand in hand, why I put Roman Reigns on my list to negate your point. One, longest championship reign, quote, of the modern era, and it's still active.
Mm-hmm.
So that's he's still there. We don't know how much longer we're going to get at this, but for the foreseeable future, he's going to be there. That's number one. Number two, the man beat cancer. If Mark and Jay Briscoe go in, and the diehards know what Mark and Jay Briscoe were capable of together, very few know what Jay did individually. But the only reason why they're on this list right now is because Jay is gone. Let's give the man the roses that he deserves in case something happens, because truth be told, Bray Wyatt should be on this list.
See, that's another thing when you don't put any sort of, you don't put any parameters on the construction of said list. That makes it that much more difficult to be discerning about what your candidate list looks like, because there are no parameters that we've been made aware of. We're just going off what's been released. While I don't disagree with your point about Roman Reigns, again, I draw a lot of my comparisons from the NFL Hall of Fame. So
you need a jacket.
I don't think either one of us would disagree that Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer.
No disagreement from me whatsoever. One of the most menacing quarterbacks to ever touch our team.
even with the lone championship, even for all the hype with one ring, he's going into the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
But you wouldn't give him that jacket this season, even before the injury, because there's the opportunity that he may play another 5 years and the bottom will fall out.
And even still, he has 5 years to wait from that last snap before he's even eligible.
And what do we know about the American society?
They're fickle. They change their mind.
They're fickle. They change their mind, and you're only as good as your last game.
Oh, boy.
So while that doesn't apply to Roman Reigns specifically, I feel like it applies to current performers, because there is an opportunity for things to go downhill, unfortunately, and that has an impact on legacy.
Higher probability of going downhill than there is of going uphill, simply off of age.
Even age, or even political status within, political status within different companies. Okay, 2 years ago, if CM Punk was on this list, does he go in unanimous or no?
Not unanimously, hell no. Wait a minute. That's not
I was waiting for the lightning bolt to strike.
2 years ago, yes.
Exactly. He's never going into this Hall of Fame. It'll be posthumous because of whose Hall of Fame it is. That's exactly my point. Had you given him that jacket 2 years ago, it's subjective. Had you given him that jacket 2 years ago, then he came to AEW and everything happened exactly as it was, we would have been looking at a situation where there would have been pressure from certain people to remove him from said Hall of Fame based upon a backstage dust-up. So you're going to negate a Hall of Fame career because a handful of people can't get along. And that is my point about putting people in a Hall of Fame when they're not done.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Hey, we can bag and tag this because we're not going to keep doing
that. This was great conversation, especially as a starting point for this show, because we haven't got a show in a minute. So, and again, we just getting started, man.
And you can also see my appreciation for tag team wrestling by who I chose to put in. Pause.
Yeah. Hall and Nash and the Steiners. Oh man, and the Hardys. Come on, man. When it makes sense, it makes sense.
Okay, the Hardys are a fantastic example. If you were to take the Hardys post WrestleMania 33, so just cut them off after that last tag team title reign they had, first ballot Hall of Famers, no question. Everything since then has been questionable and shaky.
Mid, even.
Some would say mid. So you have to take those things into account. Do you understand
that we have the possibility of one last time? If and I think the plausibility falls higher on, or the margin for error rather falls higher on the Hardy Boys than it does on these other two. But we have the possibility of getting another TLC with the original 6 competitors. It's there. And Dion and Bubba are in great shape. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, great shape. In fact, it could be argued that Christian Cage is doing some of the best work of his career. Hell, he had a world title reign not even 2 years ago.
That's the conversation on the internet. The internet says Christian is doing his best work ever. Now, part of that is tribalism, and the other part of it is actual truth. and I don't say that as a backhanded compliment either.
No.
Because if he was doing this same work in the other company, I would say it the same way. It would be part tribalism, part truth. He is as entertaining now as he's ever been.
The best work he had done prior to this, in my opinion, was Spit on Orton Christian.
Facts. His
that led to the run that lost him the belt in like 6 weeks, and he kept begging for one more match. To me,
the one more match era, one more match Christian is Hall of Fame.
Yep, by itself.
But you see what I mean? Like, there are different levels. Like, okay, Christian is the antithesis of what we just said. Mm-hmm. When he came in as a manager and was just dealing with Jurassic Express, had you capped that as the end of his career, he would have been he wouldn't have been first ballot, his second, third. He'd make it into a Hall of Fame, but it wouldn't be like, oh my God, he has to go in immediately. He's gotten a second wind, or third or fourth, depending on your perspective. Now he's ramped his stock back up, almost to a point that if his contract came up, Stanford would take the call. Well, not take the call, they would make the call.
Right.
So I would think that the book should be closed before you put the price tag on the front. Like, that's just me.
I'm with that. So what else we got? Because we got a small surprise pause at the end of the show. So
well, speaking of Christian, his best friend's in AEW now.
Man.
Rated R superstar, baby.
Tell me why the most popular name on the AEW roster is Adam.
Somebody's got to do something about this. Somebody's gonna have to.
Cole Copeland.
Well, here's how we first fix it. stop calling Hangman Adam Page. Just
call him Hangman Page.
We got to clean some of this up. And then Adam Cole and Adam Copeland, that's something that just has to live because one, you can't use the term edge. Adam Copeland.
Do we know this?
Huh?
Do we absolutely know this? Because think about this. He's the rated R superstar. That was not trademarked. And if it was trademarked, it expired. His theme music is also now property or licensed by AEW. So they dropped the two major marketing balls. Are we absolutely positive that Edge is a... You see Willie you to do that the other day?
Two major marketing balls. The Major League too?
Yeah, Wheeler Yuta came to the ring with Claudio and did this on the way down to the ramp.
You have no
marbles.
Yeah. Love Major League 2. One of my
sidebar, more wrestling related on Major League 2 when they replaced Willie Mays Hayes with Omar Epps versus with Wesley Snipes. They had that movie clip. He was like Jesse Ventura said, "Mine fell the hardest.
Mine's the deadest."
Yeah, but mine's the deadest. Shouts out David Jolly, man. That was his line, boy.
Dave, what up? But like, that's hilarious.
Yeah. But anyway, back on task. I'm not 100% positive that Edge is property of WWE. Even if that's the only piece that they have, shame on them. I'm
gonna tell you why. I am sure, because Kanos leaves no stone unturned when it comes to licensing and singing. If it was available, it would have been bought. Because even Adam Copeland put in for some trademarks of some certain stuff. So if it was available, it would have been snatched. Now, Stanford is the one who's lost their entire mind by the man is still signed to you, and those trademarks lapsed in 2020, and nobody in the office thought, well, maybe since he's still on our television, maybe we should secure this for another 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, if that's the case, you and I could have bought the rights to Rated R Superstar.
Easy. And cashed out. Suave, take them to the house.
Pencil pushers, heads up, pencils down.
We would have did a whole episode of me not doing nothing but this.
Well, we'd have been on a beach in Ibiza trying to stream a live episode. Are you serious?
What kids? They all belong to me.
The wives and running back and forth on white sand. Yeah, y'all have a good time. Yeah. We'd have been doing 10-minute shows.
Boy.
But that's my whole point. Like, Kanos does not, for all the things that people can say about Kanos that he doesn't follow through on or he's not thorough about, one thing for sure, two things for certain. If it's available to be licensed,
Kanos got his hands on the pulse.
He gonna get it. The legal team over there they will find a way. If it's available, like, okay, I keep throwing this out here and it's a freebie because I really need you to sell me mine. But at some point, you need to see if you can license Bang Bang from Dr. Dre for Bullet Club Gold. Everywhere I go, all I ever seem to hear is bang, 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 bang. Come on, man. Some of this stuff just writes itself.
The dopest thing I seen though, and I wish this would translate well. I'm sure it won't, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Where is this damn thing at? It is right here. Okay, perfect. Yep, it won't because the background. Beth Phoenix at like 2 minutes after the pay-per-view ended posted a note torn on a piece of paper on the refrigerator that says, B, headed to walk the dog, A is capitalized, B, E is capitalized, back in a few, W is capitalized, hyphen, A. That's the coolest. Like, if that was done at like 11 o'clock, that would have been ignorant. But the fact it was done 2 minutes after the pay-per-view and her just saying, guys, and then hearing her voice on that track too, like just
facts. Which also is a really cool thing because with her voice being on the record, She is due royalties
from AEW.
Bing bong.
So
bing bong.
They both are literally getting checks cut from AEW.
It's the money for me. For me, it's the monies. We got to get these dollars because we got stuff we trying to do. The bathroom floor got to be retiled. We got to get this new hood vent in the kitchen. We need new countertops. We trying to get marble.
I just had a conversation about hood vents an hour ago. I'm not even playing either.
That's because you're a refined adult.
I mean, I try to do what I can for the people.
When you're not a child.
Which is all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time I'm a child. Did we miss anything? Other
let's see. Well,
so
miss anything about Adam?
No, just period. Just in that whole AEW dichotomy. The pay-per-view was actually more entertaining than I anticipated it on being. What I did take issue with though was on AEW Dynamite, we had a contract signing, and I talked about this on the last episode. We had a contract signing for a match that wasn't the main event, that had nothing at stake. Why did we do this?
Because you have to fill television time somehow. And you have to fill television time, and you needed a go home angle for the match because the match was upper mid card. It was something, pretty important because Swerve is from Seattle. I would have just said probably need to do something different. If there was no type of special stipulation on the match, and it's nothing other than their first time meeting, a contract signing just seems like a wasted piece of business.
And to me, I think it was, because all we got out of it was a beatdown at the end of the show with Maxwell Jacob Friedman's mask. That's it. And it had nothing to do with what we saw in the ring.
Swerve has carried this feud so far. Let's just be honest about it. This has nothing to do with who I like more or what I feel about either person's personality outside of the ring, any of that. Swerve has carried this. He's carried it with the promos. He's carried it with the in-ring. Swerve is just hot right now.
Now, here is a follow-up to one of our fabled BPBC bets. The original bet was over under half the arena capacity.
Oh my God.
Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington. The half the capacity is 9,250, to which I chose under. Suave took the over.
The show itself was only set up to house, 7,000 and some change?
I'm about to dig deeper in the weeds for you. This is something that you and I haven't discussed yet.
Now, we had a text conversation about this.
No. That part we did. What I'm about to read you, we have not talked about.
Uh-oh. Here we go with these surprise run-ins on the air.
According to, I literally pulled this up in real time. I wasn't expecting to read this. So the issue, first off, if we're going by just the raw terms over under, I obviously won the bet. I'm not going to even applaud that. I'm not going to applaud that.
Got it.
Suave and I had a spirited, wouldn't call it heated, a spirited debate about the situation.
And it's via text, so like text doesn't convey emotion, but it's like my whole point was, well, if you were never equipped to handle half capacity, I would have never taken the bet.
Yes, right. Now, do you feel differently after I read you what I'm about to read you?
All right, go ahead.
According to WrestleTix, 5,610 tickets have been distributed for the event. However, some have questioned whether the increased schedule and running 3-hour television shows per week will have an impact on the attendance and pay-per-view buys. According to a nameless source, one that you probably referenced earlier in this show, WrestleDream has sold.
That's apologist. That's apologist. That's going to be an apologist post no matter what you say, but go ahead.
Has sold a little over 5,000 tickets, which means It's on course for the lowest pay-per-view live attendance since the pandemic. The Wrestle Dream show is at 5,005, so it looks to be the lowest audience since the pandemic. Does that make you feel any differently about the setup?
It makes me feel differently about the setup for the sake of the bet we made. Now, what it means for their business model and how they handle things, different conversation that we can absolutely. For the sake of the bet that you and I made, doesn't make me feel any different.
Okay.
I still feel like, okay, if you only had the show set up, if you performed your best, you would have had 7,000 and some change and been at max capacity for the way you set the show up versus, oh, the whole building is open and we're like, okay, can you get 9 or 10,000 of a possible 20? Now, for their business model, they have taken the Master P no limit approach to.
Oh no.
You said nah.
I said no.
Right. You have taken the Percy Miller approach to professional wrestling, and now you have hit post ghetto dope.
Wow.
And in the
post hookup.
Yes, you're in that territory now where you can still get people to watch air quotes listen, but it is not the same impact that you had when it was true to the game and things of that nature. You are out of bout it territory because you have oversaturated the market to a point to where you have exhausted the financial resources of your core viewership.
Plain and simple.
Like if we keeping it real, their target demo, which is the demo they always talk about that they own, 18 to 49 males. 18 to 49-year-old males who do not have financial responsibilities elsewhere.
Ooh, you saying words, Suave.
Are, first of all, they're a rarity. Second of all, those who don't have any financial obligations elsewhere are not going to put professional wrestling events at the top of their spending.
I want you to stop right there.
All right, I got you.
Because I think responsible adults are still reeling from All Out and All In, going back to back in the same weeks, while going on brain overload from watching WWE in the midst of that as well. That said, still had to shell out more money for Wrestle Dream, which is a pay-per-view that you found out about during All In.
The 18 to 49-year-old demographic that is watching AEW and or any other professional wrestling shows weekly, who are invested enough to purchase pay-per-views, are probably not in the, how do I say this delicately? They're not in the top tier of earning potential.
And I'm getting to that. You say that, but we are in a post-pandemic inflation that is not a recession and not a depression.
Right.
And people are spending more than they ever have right now because they have more crap accessible to them. Does Amazon ring a bell?
Factual.
When Amazon is at a point to where they have competitors and you ain't got to go nowhere, it's just crap showing up. So even if you don't compare the dollars that are being spent, the amount of things you're buying is higher than they have ever been in civilization.
And as a result of the pandemic, your propensity to pay convenience fees to not have to actually leave the house has gone up. So in a time where, yes, it would have made way more sense to buy a pay-per-view, now it's like, do I want to spend $50 on a pay-per-view that may or may not hit, especially when I have alternative streaming options?
Boy.
Or do I want to order dinner and not have to leave the house?
Meanwhile,
or do I want to put gas in the tank?
Meanwhile, you talk about alternative options. We might be finally turning the corner on a new home for AEW non-weekly live events.
My
draw
God,
what you will, draw what you will in that. But I'm gonna tell you, as a fan who is going on overload, someone who's been watching this for decades, that's been doing this for almost one, I'm tired, boss. Get this over with. Let's go.
Yeah, the Bleacher Report era of $50 pay-per-views, like when it was quarterly, wasn't that bad because there was a lot of seemed like there was a lot of thought put into the pay-per-view card that you ended up with. Now you're inching towards
monthly. Their idea is to get there monthly. And
once you get the monthly, I don't believe you can give me a show good enough to pay $50 for every month.
We had 3 AEW paid weekend events in 5 weeks. No, thank you ever again. Not at full price. I can't.
And this is
I can afford it.
Like we can afford it, but do we want it? This is the contingent of people who say we're gonna do things the honest way. We're gonna do business face up, as we would call it. Versus saying, okay,
they're gonna do business by standing on business.
Right, we gonna do business, we gonna stand on business, and that's the business. Versus you can do whatever you want. We ain't gonna pay it. Basically, we vocally support you. Like those are the people that go online and make all these long emotional posts about how they're so true to AEW, or there's vitriol and venom for anyone who has anything that resembles
Stop your blood clot crying.
But you don't support them with your American and or whatever else country.
Oh, no. Not just don't support them. You take money away from them by finding these alternative methods to stream the things that we pay for and give back to honestly.
But you're gonna die on the hill.
Die on that hill.
You're gonna die on the hill of saying that these people are right no matter what, but you won't actually support them financially.
Slap yourself.
You're cap. Your whole existence is cap. Cap. You are a cap gun.
Cap.
Exactly. And that's how I view those individuals. But because of the demographic that occupies AEW fans, and obviously those same people have other vices that they spend money on. You got video games. You got all different sort of subscription services that pertain to those video games, and also streaming services to watch whatever content it is they want to watch when they're not watching wrestling.
Here's an investment in trademarking that no one saw coming. You know, Tony Khan purchased Captain Insano trademark.
You see what I mean? If it's available, he's gonna get it.
Not only have we seen Captain Insano on TV, but there's a wrestling buddy now, and I guarantee you it will probably be the highest selling one they have. That's crazy. But people like what we're talking about, they'll go to the textile outlets and see if they can craft one because it looks the same, and your kids won't know the difference. The nerve of you. The nerve of you. At any rate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, couple pieces to take away from the wrestling that we haven't talked about. SmackDown still putting on stellar shows.
I gotta catch up.
Yeah, you have to. John Cena is back with a lot of energy, and I don't know if it's because of the strike or if because he really misses being in the E.
Both.
But he's in a very good mode right now, and I hate that AJ was in it, and then they literally just ripped the pages out the book.
Yeah, I do not understand. Well, I do feel for AJ, but at the same time, I don't know what to say about it. It is what it is. Like, you knew what you signed up for. You knew what you were getting. Right. The plan is the plan. So what I'm hoping for, I don't think I'm going to get now for the reason you just said. Cena's there. He's in a mode. He's a bigger available name than what AJ is. So what I was hoping to get probably won't happen.
Which is?
So with AJ being eliminated by the bloodline from the tag match at Fastlane, I was hoping for an AJ return right around the time we get our tribal chief back. And then when you go to Saudi, you get AJ versus Roman. And for those of you who are not sure about how good that would be, I would advise you to go backwards to, what is it, 2016? It might be the same pay-per-view. It might be Fastlane. It was right after Roman won the title.
Listen, AJ in pay-per-view match against anything or anybody is gold. I don't care who you are, what you say. Slap yourself if you say otherwise. To add to that point, to combat, and I've referenced this time and time again, to combat Kenny Omega versus Kaz Okada, which they rated like a 6-star match and is one of the greatest matches of all time. The biggest argument about that match was the fact that they actually went outside and used the table. To combat that, AJ Styles and John Cena at the Royal Rumble in San Antonio that same year, 3 weeks later, did about 25 minutes in the ring. AJ won the belt from Cena, and that was one of the best matches in both of their careers.
Facts.
Go back and do your Googles on that. Jade Cargill, multi-year deal with WWE. She cashed out, and she kept her name. We found out Jada Parker, which was the trademark name that WWE had gotten right after she left AEW, was now going to an NXT competitor that's next up.
Have you seen her?
Jada Parker?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a tournament that she's in.
See, I don't watch, so that's not how I would have seen it. I did see a photo of her though.
Remember the tournament that Cameron Grimes won? It was like the breakout tournament.
Yes.
So they're doing the one for the women now, and so Jada Parker is one of the breakout tournament competitors.
Well, that's cool and inclusive.
Yeah. Speaking of NXT, their last, I believe, was it Stand and Deliver? No, it was No Mercy. Suave.
No Mercy.
Listen to your guy. Mercy. Listen to your guy. Check out the show. When you get a minute, when you're in your downtime, and you got a few weeks before you get some downtime, but earmark No Mercy for your viewing pleasure.
I stand on business.
You may stand on business, and I agree 100% that you do. Trust your guy on this one. Go take a look. See,
it's not about me not trusting you. It's about me being made whole for the slights and the miscarriages of justice I've suffered as being an original fan and supporter of the NXT brand, and then having the rug pulled from under me.
Well, they're trying their damnedest to get it back, because it's coming Tuesday on what is it, October the 10th? Yeah, my lord.
Yeah, my lord.
I say, yeah, my lord. 2023.
Yeah.
You have you have John Cena standing in the corner of you have John Cena standing in the corner of Carmelo Hayes. You have Paul Heyman standing in the corner of Braun Breaker. You also
kidding me?
No.
I'm saying, like, for this to be a head-to-head matchup, the amount of stops being pulled out in order to make this happen is
there is a strong tease that let's just say that if I wasn't a lifelong fan and this man doesn't show up, I would probably pull the plug on the entire promotion. Undertaker will show up on NXT this Tuesday.
I thought it was, the way I read it, he was just going to be there. They didn't guarantee or promote that he would be on camera. Like he'd be like backstage, not like advertised as you're gonna see the Undertaker.
There is a commercial right now talking about the 4 big names that are going to be on NXT. And at the very end, all you hear is dun.
I tell you what.
You're not bringing that out for no reason.
I tell you what, I'm willing to make a concession here, and because I'm a man of my word, and standing on business is what I stand on.
Mm-hmm.
since technically I lost the Wrestle Dream bet.
Oh, snap.
I will give you the opportunity to invoke a clause that gets me back watching NXT.
Oh, no.
if you so choose, what you choose to do if you as you have won the bet, that is completely up to you and then subject to my approval. However, I am offering that as a potential solution that is already been greenlighted.
Which part of it, like, do I have, like, do you go back and watch this Tuesday, or do you go and watch No Mercy? Is like, do I have to pick one of these as like your winning, like the clause?
I tell you what, I'll do both, but the whole idea is that I go back to at least semi-regularly watching the show.
I can't even do that.
Or at least, or you see what I mean? It's DVR and I just never watch it.
Yeah, I can't even. I took it off the DVR about a year ago, to be honest with you.
To settle the bet, I will absolutely go back and watch No Mercy, and I'll watch this Tuesday.
Wow.
If that's what you choose. Now, if you choose something else,
no. That works. That you standing on business. That works for me. That works for me, because I'm gonna do something that you didn't think was gonna happen. I have something being crafted.
Okay.
I have a custom piece being crafted. I hope to unveil it on episode 218. I was trying to unveil it on this episode. Life happened. I couldn't connect with the proper parties. Neither here nor there. It's in motion. I hope to unveil that on episode 218 for the entire Pencil Pusher Massacre.
I got motion.
And it's not because I feel that I lost. It's because you feel slighted by the stipulations. So
I feel slighted by the fact that AEW did not give themselves a fighting chance.
That part
to win the bet for me.
Those are the stipulations I'm talking about, not for me in this bet. So
gotcha.
For me to stand on business, I double back with that. But again, it's already in motion. So if that's how you stand on business, I'm here for it. I'll take it.
Indeed. So yes, I will go back and watch No Mercy before the next time we record a show, and I will tune in. Now, here's the thing.
Oh, what up, Ump?
Here's the thing.
I had already planned to watch Dynamite first. So for those of Pencil Pusher Nation or those new to the program who feel like I may have an anti-AEW stance, I really do need you to know that since 2019 and during that Dynamite NXT first round war, I was always watching AEW first. It's been my practice ever since the brand switch. And it's just been my preference, even though I don't care for everything I see on Dynamite. I've always watched AEW first. I kind of feel like that's going to be the case this Tuesday.
Okay.
But we'll see how it shakes out. Now, if they come out the gate and they're not swinging, I'm finna go see what's popping on USA.
So, Cena, Cody, Paul Heyman, Asuka, and Taker for this coming Tuesday on NXT. The Rated R superstar Adam Copeland takes on Luchasaurus.
Not really interested in that.
Saraya versus Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's title.
Same.
FTR Young Bucks 4 gets addressed. MJF is defending his a title. He has 2. We know he's defending a title.
Is it another handicap match?
We don't know. We don't know if it's a world title match or not. We just know he's defending a title on Tuesday.
Yikes.
AEW got to come with it, because by all intents and purposes, that's going to be my DVR for the night. I'll be watching NXT live. On the home front, I'm all over the place because we got to try to wrap this up and get the surprise in real quick. Pause. You remember the young man that was alongside Gang Tony Snow in Oklahoma when we went up there for Texoma last year?
The young man?
Young. He was an announcer. His name was Walker Stewart.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely, yes.
Walker Stewart has a new gig.
What that is?
He will be replacing Kevin Kelly as the American voice of New Japan Pro Wrestling moving forward.
Ooh.
How hard is that, Suave?
That's level.
That is gang.
That is level up gang.
He loves us, fam.
And then
I'm so proud of him. So proud of him.
Factuals.
Kevin Kelly's been in the industry for 30 years. You got to follow that.
Yeah, bro. That's enough to get a New Japan World subscription.
I mean, if it helps increase the paycheck, I don't see why not.
You feel what I'm saying? It's a tax write-off for us anyway. We ain't doing no tripping. That means we still got to get up super early to watch Wrestle Kingdom, but at least we've been doing it the right way.
What is we doing?
You know what I'm saying? I wish his name escapes me at the moment, but our other homie from Texoma, the referee who was going on a tour of Japan.
Yeah.
I gotta check in. I gotta check in with him to see how that went.
Yeah,
because he was supposed to come do the show afterwards.
Yep. We gotta make sure we catch up with Snow. Make sure we get the particulars and iron that.
Speaking of Snow, there is a record that is now available on your.
We haven't talked about that either.
There's a record that is available on your local streaming service that celebrates the fact that El Jefe Tony Snow is in a dominant position in life.
That is El Jefe Antonio Nieve. For those of you keeping score at home. Antonio Nieve, that is Tony Snow in Espanol. That is his new name until otherwise known, otherwise noted from Tony Snow.
If it's snowing, we going. Dominate. Produced by CG of Manipulative Music, featuring El Jefe Tony Snow.
Antonio Nieve, I told you.
Antonio Nieve.
Nieve, yes.
Nieve. Danger One and yours truly. Run them numbers up.
It's hard to say this. I lie. It's not that hard. We don't miss Suave. We don't.
Tony's getting money and it shows.
You see this? This.
No, the whole quote is Tony's back getting money and it's showing. Man, I laughed so hard when I heard that.
That man said he go to Dapper Dan and got up with him early in the morning. Custom suits.
That's hilarious, bro.
Deuce Freight really needs to get out of battle rapper voice when he sees Tony Snow on Texoma programming or WFC programming.
Nah. I want that same energy. No, he's nailed it. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Do you realize?
Deuce, can you imagine? We need to get Deuce on the show. Can you imagine if Deuce was actually in the ring and was interviewing a talent and went into full battle rap mode on him and the talent didn't?
No, I'm taking it a step further. I want Deuce Freight calling New Japan pay-per-views in that same energy and same voice.
You don't even know. I'm the king of the pit.
Okada's out here laying an egg.
Oh, snap.
If we could get away with it and not get a copyright violation, alternate commentary on some of these pay-per-views would be absolutely magnificent.
Man, we actually need to get a we need to talk to gang. Rodney Mack and Jazz are doing something stupid right week. Ooh.
Word? What say you?
We'll talk. In the meantime, yeah, you got me out here like Deuce, king of the fat. Wait, he the king of the fat. But let me
keep working on yourself. I'm not. Like, bruh.
I woke up in the morning with that one. And on that note, we'll see how fast we can get this in. Pause. You ready, Suave?
All right, let's go.
All right, for the people.
Hey. You know who ain't gonna win. You know who ain't gonna win. You know who ain't gonna win. Let's say that bitch again. I know who ain't gonna win. You know who ain't gonna win. You know who ain't gonna win. We say that again. I want 1, 2, 3. Get your out. I want 1, 2, 3. Get the gone. 1, 2, 2, 3. Get your
said I won.
1, 2, 2, 3. Get the gone.
We should do this.
Who's it sponsored by? The Return of CM Punk? Oh, no, that's Survivor Series.
Percy's Paw Miracle.
Run it.
Because I'll be, by the time I listen to this, I'll be good and good on some Percy's Paw Miracle, courtesy of Full Steam Brewery, Durham, North Carolina. Swab.
Yeah.
We are approximately in real time 6 minutes away from the pre-show for WWE Fastlane.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in Detroit, right? No, they're in Indianapolis. They're in Indianapolis.
News to me.
I was thinking Detroit because I think they did a Fastlane.
I think I only pay attention to the locations of the Big Five unless it actually affects me.
Actually, no, it was Survivor Series that was in Detroit because that's where Jake Paul was, right? Before he flew to Dallas to be with his brother. Something like that. At any rate.
SummerSlam. Yeah. SummerSlam was in Detroit.
Yeah, so they right down the highway. Man, the Midwest is getting they're getting money right now with WWE or giving money.
Might be a tester market. They're trying to see if they can go to the what's the Viking Stadium? It's a dome, but
the Vikings.
Where do the Vikings play right now?
They play in Lambeau. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm tripping. That's
blaspheme. No, they never play in Lambeau.
They never play in Lambeau, other than for conference games. No, you're talking. You're talking about the
when they go to Lambeau, they don't play in Lambeau. That's the problem.
Oh man!
Thanks, Kurt.
Is a U.S. bank field or?
It might be. It's been renamed, obviously, because everybody gets renamed. But
that's a new stadium too. Yep, U.S. Bank Stadium. Look at me knowing stuff.
Boom. Yeah. So that might be a tester to see if they can do a WrestleMania there, to see how much of that general area they can pull in. Because you already know you can get money in Detroit. Well, absolutely. You can get a little bit. You can pull surrounding communities in that will drive into Detroit.
So here's what's crazy. This is why this is going to be such a short. You know who ain't going to win. Right. 5 matches on the card.
5? Oh, we back on in black and gold NXT time.
Yeah. So
we should get all bangers.
Just you wait, because all things lead to Survivor Series.
Bangers and mash.
Well, let's start across the pond then. Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, your WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions taking on main event Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Suave, who ain't gonna win?
Main event Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes will not win. I would love for that wrinkle to be thrown in simply because it would cause so much confusion. And I am an advocate of chaos. That's just not Stanford's way.
I don't think the chaos is coming from this match, but it's coming from one of the 4 members of this particular match. I said that Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes will not win. Put a pin in that one. The Latino World Order, Rey Mysterio Jr. and Santos Escobar, along with a player to be named later, as the other 2 competitors with the LWO have been injured, would take on Bobby Lashley and the Suit Profit. Suave, who ain't gonna win?
The LWO does not take home a victory this time. We are building big business Bob and associates.
Big business Robert.
Ring me up, Roberto. Yeah. Big old business Bob is we're trying to cash out. Pause.
That's a huge business. Yo, and then there's also going to be I don't know if it's going to be the night, but there's going to be a blow up with Santos Escobar. That it's coming soon. It's
inevitable.
Triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. Your champion Io Sky taking on Asuka, taking on Charlotte Flair. Triple threat rules. Suave, who ain't gonna win?
Anybody not named Charlotte.
Ooh, you think she walks away with it?
The betting odds just say yes, even though there's no reason for it. Nothing supports making that decision.
I'm going to say the champion retains.
That's what I would like to happen.
Yeah,
But I'm just going with the betting odds. That's just I don't have any vested stake in this match, so I'm just gonna go with what's most likely to happen when betting with Stanford's track record.
the sad part is, I think the biggest issue here is that there's going to be a target of on the back of someone who's not even a champion. I think Bailey is going to have 3 people gunning for her by the time this match is over with.
Anytime Charlotte's involved in a triple threat, you have the option to have Charlotte cash out on the person who isn't the champion. That way you get a 2-for-1 match. You get a 2-for-1 pay-per-view feud for Charlotte opponents. And at the end of the day, if you were going to choose one of the 3 that Stanford was going to put some money and promotion behind, who would it be? And I just thought about this one. Survivor Series is right around the corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as far as we know, they haven't said yay or nay on interpromotional, but chances are there's going to be interpromotional, just based on what we think is going to happen at War Games. That would mean it would be Rhea Ripley against who?
Ooh.
So which of those 3 competitors make the most compelling match for Rhea Ripley? Especially after what happened in April.
Yeah, the dopest match will be Io Sky. The most compelling match, hands down, would be Charlotte Flair.
Bing bong.
All right.
And she's main evented a WrestleMania with the other 2 already.
I'm standing on the champion still retaining, but I'm sorry, I'm anybody not named Io Sky losing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Tag team. I don't even know what to call this. Grudge match. John Cena in the 2,000-day losing streak, and LA Knight taking on the Bloodline. Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. Fam, who ain't gonna win?
This iteration of the Bloodline ain't gonna win simply because it adds drama to whenever Roman comes back to TV.
I'll do you one better. Not only does this Bloodline not win, Jim Uso takes the W. It takes the L.
I absolutely see that. Does main event Jey Uso get involved?
It's possible he'll be free.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because a well-placed super kick could be the reason Jimmy takes the L, because we got to build towards WrestleMania anyway.
I just wish we could get something kooky from a Twins perspective, even if it was so much as him just wearing like Jimmy Uso's hair to the ring to knock him out, and then call something like just. We're in the top of the 4th right now. We still got time to do all types of things.
Like twin magic.
What a time to be alive.
No, what would actually be hilarious, but would also be extremely corny and campy, is a situation where, because they're twins, you pull a twin magic and Jey Uso takes an L on behalf of Jimmy. As like on some
like a surrogate, like a stunt double, like Damian Sandow.
Like a stunt double, but you're doing it to sabotage.
Yes. And then finally, you're a champion for the last man standing for the World Heavyweight Championship, which I don't understand why the challenger got to pick the stipulation without a match being involved, other than you name the time, you name the place. Your champion, Seth Rollins, taking on Shin Splint Nakamura. Suave, who ain't gonna win?
Seth ain't gonna win.
I'm with you. Seth ain't gonna win.
But I don't know if it's Shinsuke Nakamura who's gonna win.
There's the part.
Because we have been playing this violin of when will Seth's Jenga spine collapse? Which vertebrae are we gonna pull to where the entire thing comes crashing down? You see what I'm saying? So here's a better question. I know you announced that match last. Does that match main event the pay-per-view?
Absolutely, because the Judgment Day versus Cody and Jay start the pay-per-view off.
I vote no. I say Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline main events.
Honestly, I think there's going to be a cash in tonight. I think in the main event we're going to have a cash in, because it's like, so if we have Seth and Shin Splint in the main event, you do the cash in tonight. If you don't do the cash in tonight, what are you gonna have? When are you gonna do it? Like some random Raw or SmackDown in between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, a la what, February? So
at this point, with where the negotiations and different things are going with between Heyman and the Bloodline and Judgment Day, Seth may not even be the target anymore.
Ooh, when you didn't even watch SmackDown last night. Watch SmackDown and double down on what you just said.
The reason I said is because I caught some of it on kind of scrolling social media. So I caught clips. But at this point, if Judgment Day is about to get in bed with the Bloodline in any shape, form, or fashion, chances are
Priest could backdoor the tribal.
Seth ain't even the target. So you could have a situation. You could just have a situation. Let's say that. I ain't gonna do nobody's booking for him. You could have a situation.
But so we're just assuming that the World Heavyweight Championship is the target, right? And I'm just saying that for the sake of this conversation.
If you're gonna go on star power, then Cena and Knight versus the Bloodline should close the pay-per-view. And that's the tell. If you get that tag match before Seth and Shinsuke, expect something to happen something that relates to a cash in.
See you, raise you. If Cena is in the main event, he wins. Mind you, he's on a 2,000 day losing streak.
I'm gonna say he'll be a part of the winning team. He may not get the W.
That's the same. Because if you're not first, you last.
This is a time. This is nighttime.
Hey, it's nighttime.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is nighttime, and because it's nighttime, we is trying to turn the lights on.
So by the time you've heard this show, this pay-per-view would have been long gone. So hit us up on the social. Show at brokenpencilbc.com, brokenpencilbc@gmail.com, at brokenpencilbc on everything. Yeah. 2:08. I should have an unveiling for you, Suave. And after that, I think we can just take it to the house.
Hey, we on CM Punk alert again, apparently.
Oh, breaking news?
Not necessarily breaking news. This is dirt sheet speculation. And with some of the people it's coming from, it's like, come on, fam. You can't keep entertaining CM Punk news from these particular outlets.
We can't talk CM Punk on legitimate levels until at the earliest November the 25th. We've already told you this.
You can't necessarily report that he's basically signed when he's assumed under a non-compete. And by his own admission, he's kind of under a no compete. So if he's the cancer that everyone makes him out to be, and this will be where we can go home on. If he's the cancer that everyone makes him out to be, and you finally extracted the cancer from your company of choice, why would you continue to discuss him? Or why would you not want to see him make a livelihood in the company that you supposedly hate? Wouldn't you want him to go be a cancer there? These are just things that are strange to people like me.
I will say this to close it on a higher note.
Please.
The possibility of matches with Adam Copeland and AEW and his supposed reasons for joining AEW are definitely more sellable than anything CM Punk had available to him at the time that he was there. And we don't have to see a split brand to make it happen, a la differences in political stature in the back, or differences in personal relationships or like and dislike with people in the back. It's the truth. We're going to be able to see things that we have never seen before and things that we actually care to see while Edge is back in rare form. Even if he is in his 50s, doesn't even matter. He's putting on excellent work. The same way we revered Chris Jericho when he came to AEW, when AEW first started, it's the same way I'm holding Adam Copeland, and probably at a higher regard because of the fact that we have more matches available to us than we had with CM Punk at AEW. Argue with your mama on that. I don't even want you to at me because there's nothing that you can say to me that refutes that statement.
And I'll add two things to that. Number one, I told you it wasn't Edge behind the mask. He is exactly the same size as Luchasaurus. That's one. Number 2, if Adam Copeland punches anybody in the mouth, I don't want to hear anything.
The first person it's going to be is Christian Cage.
Yeah, backstage, if he not a working punch, if he legit punches or whoops anybody in the back, I don't want to hear another word about anything.
Learn your lesson. You watch the money walk out because you opened your mouth. Wisdom. Let me get this ready. True wisdom isn't the amount of gray hairs one has in their hair or their beard. True wisdom is knowing exactly when to shut the up.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Take them to the house.
Pencil pushers. Like, rate, subscribe, share. Tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend, and then tell that friend again. Heads up. Pencils down.
Down where?
You know where.
Down there.
Right in the comment section. That's where you put your pencil down.
Right in the marbles.
You have no marbles.
You have no marbles.
Marbles? Huevos?
Marbles.
Pedro Serrano.
The Allstate man. Yeah.
Roger Dorn.